So first of all, we'll check the hyperextension in the elbow. What are the problems comes? So could you just come into downward facing dog? So you know that, yeah, this is the thing what happens whenever we perform downward facing dog. We have to make sure that we do not hyperextend the elbow too much, because doing this, it can compress. You see how the compression is coming in the shoulder, as well as it can cause more pressure in the wrist joint. Okay, so first of all, what we are going to learn, okay, relax. Here, come to the table toe position. Here we are going to understand how the base should be. So first of all, make sure that you open your fingers widely, okay? And as we discussed last time in the class that, your middle finger should be parallel to the long edges of the mat, because it is the axis of the wrist, right? But some people, they feel more comfortable when they keep their index finger parallel to the long edges of the mat. So it's up to you. You have to figure it out, like which finger you keep parallel to the long edges of the mat and you feel comfortable. And then very important point is that we need to press the base of the index finger heavily on the mat and press the tip of the fingers on the mat, so that one is not able to lift your fingers, right? It means you have a strong base. But as we know that whenever we are performing downward facing dog, we have pronation of the elbow, but external rotation of the shoulder, right? And whenever it is going in like this, more going in like this, and teachers mainly recommend that we need to micro bend. So micro bending means it should come in one line. But micro bending is a temporary solution. What is a permanent solution? Is that activation of the bicep muscle, right? If we learn how to activate the bicep as well as tricep together, then we'll be able to keep this joint more stable. But we need to first of all learn that how the bicep gets activated. As I taught you in the class, I told you that whenever we want to engage the bicep, we need to micro bend the elbow as well as supinate, right? So supination and flexion of the elbow activates the bicep. And here we cannot do that, but we can try to do it, right? So what you are going to do, press this heavily and make sure that eyes of the elbows facing towards each other. It should not face front like this, because it goes for more hyperextension. So we'll face the eyes of the elbows towards each other, eyes of the elbows facing towards each other. Then you need to press the base of the index finger heavily and then try to roll your thumb outward as if you're trying to do supination, right? You're trying to do supination in your mind, not actually you're doing. You are just putting effort. You are intending. You just intend to do supination. Okay, so try to do supination both sides. Try to roll your thumb outward. Yes, and try to micro bend your elbow. In your mind, try to micro bend your elbow. Yes, you see, your muscles are activated. And now perform, lift your knees off the mat, go to downward facing dog. Yes, and you see, when we do that, we have arms in one line. Press palm heavily, try to rotate it out, try to micro bend your elbow, and here we can see. And you see, try to roll this part out as well. Yes, and you see, arms are in one line, muscles are active. You can touch and check his bicep muscle. See, activated, tricep muscle is activated. So this is how we can prevent hyperextension in downward facing dog, right? So one more time, I'm going to repeat what we have to do. Just relax. You see, this is what happens. Be in the downward facing dog. You see, when he is releasing the muscle, compression is coming, elbow is going more in. But how can we prevent happening it? First of all, eyes of the elbows facing towards each other. Try to micro bend your elbow and try to roll your palm out. Press the base of the index finger heavily on the mat. Press the tip of the fingers heavily on the mat. And you now touch his muscle. You see that? Muscles are activated. This is more open, neck relaxed, and he might be having, do you feel the equal weight distribution? Yes, so he is feeling equal weight distribution on the palm. Understood? So this is how we can prevent hyperextension in the downward facing dog. Okay, thank you.